So good day, Facebook family. Just coming at you. Just wanted to continue our conversation about the 5 ways credit is calculated. And tonight, I'm gonna do the last 3. And really, let's start out from the beginning. And we talked about credit is all about understanding how you pay your bills, right? Are you responsible in paying your debts, right? That's it. It's not personal. They don't know your name. All the people want to know is that, are you responsible with giving them their money back? And so when we look at the 5 ways of, really how credit is calculated, just keep that in mind. Again, it's not personal. They just want to make sure you're going to pay them back. Any bank, any financial institution, as a matter of fact, it's your friends also, right? They want to make sure you're a good credit risk. When you ask them for money, the first thing they say is, when are you going to pay me back, right? It's not as hard as when you go to a bank, but they want to know, when are you going to pay them back? So the first couple we looked at, one was the credit utilization, which is 30% in your, the way you pay back, right? Have you had late payments and different things like that? So the third way that we look at is, do you pay back? And how long have you been doing it? Again, the longer you have been paying back, the more they can see that you're a responsible person for giving them their money back. And again, that's the bottom line. They just want to make sure they're going to get paid back. So 15% of the way they calculate credit is them looking at how long have you had credit. So the longer you have been using credit, the higher that weighs, right? So one of the things you don't want to do, a lot of times we get into a position and we start really being responsible for our money now. We say, we want to close credit cards. You might not want to do that. That might not be the best strategy, because you can inadvertently lose time, right? Depending on how long you had that credit card open, you want to make sure that that stays on there so that you can keep that time going, right? We've seen a lot of people that went out and start closing credit cards, and their credit score actually dropped because now they don't longer have that length of time in there. And so what they look at is really the ones that are open over 2 years, right? 2 years or longer. If it's just been open, that doesn't weigh as much, but if it's been open 20 years and they can get a good understanding of how you've paid back and are you responsible with paying back, that goes a long way, right? And if you have older credit cards, what you can do with those is use them every 6 months, right? Just put a small balance on it and pay it off. And again, we talked about that credit utilization yesterday, right? Where we don't want to use over 30% of the credit that we are allowed. And so, and you also want to pay attention to your trade lines, right? So make sure that there are things on there that should be on there that could add to that length of time. We do have a product that helps with that. It's called Credit My Rent, which is a very powerful product, because now you can get your rent put onto your credit report as a trade line. And the product is real powerful because it can go back for 2 years, and it asks your landlord, has this person been responsible for the last 2 years in paying? So you can instantly get 2 years worth of history. So if you don't have any credit, which by the way is just as bad as having bad credit, right? If you don't have any credit or bad credit, you can now get 2 years put onto your trade line that says you've been a good payer for 2 years, which is powerful. Now that you can put your rental payments on there, which is one of the hugest payments that most people have. So that's the third way that credit is calculated, right? The fourth way is the mix of credit. So if you have all credit cards, it's not going to be as good as maybe if you, for example, had a mortgage, a car loan, a couple of credit cards, and maybe a couple department store cards. That would be a good mix, as long as you're responsible with those things. Now, it doesn't mean, if you don't have them, you don't have to go out and get them. It's just that they want to see a good mix of credit utilization, that you're using, again, a mortgage, some type of installment loan, and some type of revolving credit loan. And so that's a major piece. It's not a major, it's only 10%, but it could be, so it's something to look at. Because remember, the last 3 only add up to 25%. The first 2 was 65% of your credit, the way it's calculated. And then the last one is in pursuit of credit. So you don't want to, be going out there having people pull your credit all the time, right? That doesn't look good. It just makes it look like you're in search of ways to maybe pay off your debt. So you want to be aware of when people pull your credit. So one of the strategies you can use is, if you're going to buy a house or a car, especially with the cars, you can go to your bank and get a pre-approval. So they can have a soft pull to say, hey, here's what you'll qualify for. Usually if we have bad credit, we go to the auto dealership as an example. And then what they do is they pull it from several different places trying to find the best opportunity for you. And then sometimes you'll go there and then you'll leave there and go to another place. And they're doing the same thing. That's not a good idea. Try to get pre-approved from your bank. And I think Capital One has a pre-approval on their site also. But try to get pre-approved before you go so that you know exactly what you're getting and you don't have to be in that place where they're pulling all these different credit for you and is driving down your credit score. So make sure you look at those. Yes, inquiries can damage your score. It's only 10%. But when you're trying to really get a house or a car, get into a better bracket, those twos and fews really count. So make sure you're looking at those. So that's the 5 ways credit is calculated. So again, this is all about you taking responsibility for your financial future. If you're not taking responsibility, somebody else will. And it's not going to be to your benefit. So today we have to get our head up out the ground and be intentional on looking at our credit scores, about the things we do to raise our credit score. Because remember, cash is king, but credit is power. And we have to get the power back in ourselves, but it only happens if we take responsibility. And our company can help you with that. That's what we're specialized in. Raising people's credit scores, helping them get excellent credit. So if you have any questions, don't forget you can direct message me, leave me a message on here, a comment. If you've liked this series, please, say that you've liked it down in the comments. Again, you can share this, and if you want to know the next time we come on, give them some credit tips and some advice and some strategies on credit, just make sure at the end of this you hit follow on this so that you can be updated when we come on live. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, just shoot them out there to me. We are here to help you any way we can we want to help change your financial future, to get you in a better position to now empower you and control your financial future. So with that, I'm out. Look for the next one that's coming out. And again, I hope this has been helpful. If it has, just make sure you put down on the bottom that's been helpful to you, and we'll bring these to you as much as we can so that you can change your financial future. So until the next time I see you, have a wonderful day, and take your financial control back and put it in your hands so we can change your financial future. God bless and have a great evening.